Say all you feels from here now. Just wait and hang your head high. I don't know what's in the end, so pack your bags and leave to stand by. I lost my sunburst today. Slowly get up, lowered in my grave. No, can't go back to being a kid. I did what I did, and I meant all of it. Bring me a sound to my grave, where I'm made. Bring me up some sunny day, all the way. I can't delay, I wanna feel what's in front of me. Sometimes I hate to be free.
I think we're just going to wait a few minutes. I'm not sure that we have all of our graduates.
All right.
So thank you so much, Matt, for playing. I don't know if you've got another song you want to play while we're waiting.
Oh, geez. I prepared for this, if you're wondering.
The typical musician, always ready to go. Thank you.
If we're waiting for everybody else, I can just do a real quick one.
Okay, thank you. I'm just not sure if, do we know if this congratulation class, is that Cierra?
That's Will.
No, that's Will. There's somebody with a blank screen, a black screen with the camera off, and I'm not sure if that's Cierra or not.
I just figured I would put something fun.
Okay.
All right. We good?
Yeah, go ahead, play something else, Matt. I'm good.
All right, sweet. This one's a bit more happy, so a bit more uplifting. It's all feeling like days are passing by. Yeah. Oh yeah. I want to feel like an airplane, steam train, running rails of sky. See, I've been down for quite a while now, and I'm taking you right down with me. I don't want to be lonely. I just want to be true to you. 'Cause everything that's going down tonight. It's all feel like I'm taking my sweet time. You're always on my mind every day. Oh, it feels like a time, babe. Cause every now and then I get back on my feet. I don't wanna be lonely. I just wanna be true to you. 'Cause everything that's going down tonight.
Well, thank you very much. I guess we're ready to get started. I'd like to welcome all of you to our 2020 MG21 graduation. It's our first ever virtual graduation. Thank you so much for joining us and being here to help celebrate these amazing young people. We hope things go smoothly tonight. Can everybody hear me? Yes? Okay, good. We hope things go smoothly tonight. We apologize if they don't. A couple housekeeping details. As you already figured out, everybody is muted, and we will unmute various people as they need to be able to speak. At the very end, we'll unmute everybody in hopes that we can all cheer and celebrate our graduates. So graduates, I'm asking that you try to keep your cameras on, please, so we can see your smiling faces during this. It's lovely to see all of you, and congratulations. To get us started, I'd like to introduce our MG21 Governance Board Vice President, Phil McDade.
Good evening and welcome to MG21 Graduation 2020. At MG21, we pride ourselves on our classroom innovations in doing things different ways, stretching out of our comfort zones, and learning new methods for the tried and true. In that spirit, I'd like to welcome all of you to our first online, remotely connected, brought to you by the internet's graduation. So before we get to the good stuff, I'd like to take just a few moments to offer some thanks. First, to our wonderful MG21 faculty and staff, both at our upper and middle campuses, who worked tirelessly throughout the school year to provide first-rate instructional leadership and then turned on a dime in March to move our classes online. You have been stewards of our great MG21 traditions all year long. Secondly, to Superintendent Dan Olson, his administrative staff with the Monona Grove School District, our chartering board, the members of the Monona Grove School Board, as well as our MG21 Governance Board. We are, as always, grateful for the support of our district leadership, the MG School Board, and our Governance Board, now especially during these challenging times for schools. Lastly, I'd like to give a special shout out to our students and their families. We pride ourselves particularly at MG21 in establishing a community of like-minded learners, an ideal that was challenged with our move to full-time online learning in March. But you students and your families persevered, and it is your perseverance that we celebrate tonight. So thank you all again, and welcome.
Hey everybody, I am Ian Lowe, and I want to start by thanking everyone who is here today and maybe not here today to celebrate these 11 incredible graduates. I'm going to quickly make sure that nobody's telling me I'm muted before, okay, now I can really start. All right. So these are heavy and telling times. Many of us over the past few days, weeks, and months have been forced to think about our role in social change. Whether making decisions regarding social distancing in a global pandemic or how to do our part to respond to systemic oppression, it's time for all of us to reflect on our interconnectedness. Our current events have shed light on our impact on each other, our impact on systems, the impact of broken systems on us, and how we can compel change. We are experiencing and witnessing pain and disruption. Given this, it is perfectly reasonable, healthy, and expected to grieve. Grieve the loss of the traditional graduation pomp and circumstance you'd envision at the end of 13 years of schooling. Grieve with our Black communities across the country. Grieve connections as you know them. Grieve for justice. Grieve for so many big and small things. But moments of pain and disruption also allow us to look at the world with fresh eyes. We can discover how we fit into a changing world. You all, the class of 2020, are especially equipped and ready to figure out how to walk through this changing world. The class of 2020 is not unfamiliar with some disruption. You all actively chose a high school experience that disrupted what learning looks and feels like. You chose to come to a school where you'd walk your own path. And even within that choice, you all experienced disruption. In your last year, your school expanded to include a middle school campus with 6th, 7th, and 8th graders and the onboarding of so many amazing new MG21 staff members. So perhaps it is fitting that just before graduation, school shuts down and you are asked to shift gears once again. Because, of course, this happens to the class of 2020. As kids, we're told the path is go to school, follow the rules, get good grades, graduate, go to college, get a job, rinse and repeat for the next generation. I think of y'all as a crew who never really bought into that. You've taken charge of the steering wheel and you found some degree of comfort in the discomfort that uncertainty creates. None of you know exactly where you are headed, but you found peace in the journey. Sometimes our role during social change is thrust upon us, and sometimes disruption creates the soil for us to choose our role. I've seen you all serving as experimenters, builders, healers, weavers, and storytellers. This is you. You don't follow perfect scripts, partly because you know there's no such thing. You're flexible. You're oriented toward the community. You adapt, you change, you reflect, you keep moving forward. Moments of disruption allow us to find out about ourselves and to live according to our values. I'd like to share 3 quick stories that I stumbled upon recently that embodies this class. The first one happened in our MG21 community. As you know, you all were asked to write and record your senior speech. Our very own Matt, however, went past the set deadline. We spoke with Matt and said, "You're past our deadline. We need your graduation speeches in so that we can be ready for graduation night." We worked together and we arrived at a plan. Matt said that he would record his speech and would send it to Rebecca immediately. Then, left to his own innovation, Matt leans into his role as a storyteller and a weaver. In this case, Matt thinks about his classmates. He wants to tell each of you what you mean to him. So he pushes off that speech another night because he's got more important work to do. He spends the next 3 hours writing individual letters to each of you, his classmates. This is quintessentially you, Matt, but I also think it captures this graduating class. Many of you here today participated and contributed to Wisconsin Public Radio's Classroom Frequency, telling important and powerful stories that were heard across the state. For those of you that may not be aware, the series of stories won a coveted Regional Journalism Award, an incredible honor in the field. The second story emerged from an online forum our MG21 community held on Tuesday in response to the protests of police brutality that have been organized across this country. During this meeting, we heard from students who used their bodies, minds, and voices to stand up for justice. We also heard visionary statements from students, imagining what the world needed to be and should be. History shows that many of our movements are headed by or rely on the efforts of young people. How proud and lucky we are that the words and actions reverberating from some of the young people we're celebrating here today echo the voices of youth, social change agents of the past. Being on the front lines of history captures this graduating class in other ways too. During the time of social distancing, many of you are doing work determined essential. At grocery stores, taking care of family members, providing food and services to our community, the list goes on. In this work, you've prioritized what matters. I stumbled across the final story while listening to a podcast called The Anthropocene Reviewed. There is a song called You'll Never Walk Alone by the 1960s British band Jerry and the Pacemakers. I am sure all of you are deeply familiar with their work. Prior to COVID-19, this song was sung by the Liverpool Football Club in jam-packed stadiums as a form of community and closeness amongst their fans. Right now, of course, that seems so far from our reality. Although the song lyrics are a bit cliched and cheesy, there is fresh truthfulness in the song. Here are a few lines. Walk on, with hope in your heart, and you'll never walk alone. You'll never walk alone. To me, the story it tells and the picture it paints is irrefutably true, beautiful, and good. Most recently, a viral video circulated where paramedics in the United Kingdom were singing this same song to their colleagues on the other side of a window who were treating patients with COVID-19. This community, this group of people, months before, were maybe singing this song in packed stadiums, arms across each other's shoulders, swaying back and forth. But amidst this disruption, they found a new and different way to weave connection. This is what you, the class of 2020, has done. You've rightfully grieved for your traditional senior year lost, but you've continued to show up and stay connected through it all. All of us are being asked to figure out how we will respond and walk in this changing world. Please know that I and everyone around you believe you all are as ready and equipped as any graduating class to do just that. You all are going to walk your path. We will encourage you. We will walk each other into courage. We, your teachers, your family, your community, will be walking right there with you. You'll never walk alone. Now, the student speeches. First up, Cierra Riederer.
Hello, my name is Cierra Riederer. I am proud to be here graduating with the class of 2020. When I started this year, I never thought I would be graduating virtually in the middle of a global pandemic, but here we are. I'm very passionate, energetic, and artistic. The thing that motivates me to be my best self is my art, my family, and my friends, because that's what I care about the most. My favorite place to be is outside or anywhere my animals are. During my time at MG21, I have gained a stronger awareness of myself and who I have become up to this point in my life. In 10th grade, I was a quieter person who liked to keep to myself and work on my own. It was a new school and I didn't want to bring too much attention to myself. Over my time at MG21, I've started to put myself out there more and push myself out of my comfort zone. 2 examples are joining Circle Keepers and working on a radio project in class for Wisconsin Public Radio where I talked about my rabbit Lou. I became more confident and able to be myself. It took some time. I learned to set boundaries with the people around me. I started to talk to the people that I knew were there for me about my feelings on school or my home life. Overall, I have learned some important truths about myself. I learned that for me, it takes time. Even if something is super uncomfortable, if I give myself time and keep trying, I always get through it. School-wise, I've learned a lot about the world, especially in the area of science. I really connected with Alyssa and how MG21 taught science. I took every class she taught. What made the science work for me was that it was hands-on and connected to my life. This is really funny because in 7th, 8th, and 9th grade, I failed science. I would say that working with Alyssa had a big impact on my education. She was a great role model who helped and inspired me. My perspective on the world is different now because of that relationship and experience. I feel like I have gained an appreciation of the environment, and what I hope to learn next is just how to continue working on this and how to make the world a little less terrible. The nice thing about MG21 is that when you pick up any new hobby, you can always make a project out of it. I started an art therapy project that has evolved to be an important piece of my life. I went in not really having a specific style, but left with a unique style all my own. After graduation, I'm not sure what I want to do. I was planning on taking a gap year so I can work full-time somewhere and make some money. Then the following year, I wanted to move to a different place, a different state, or just somewhere else in Wisconsin. I just feel like I could accomplish and grow more if I got out of my hometown. I may go on to college later, but right now I'm not really sure what I would like to go to school for. Something that has to do with working with animals for sure. What I hope for in the future is anything positive. I want to be healthy and I want to keep moving forward in my life. There are many people who I would like to thank who have helped me get here today. This part of the speech is the part that was really hard listening to at other graduations, so there's no doubt that I'm going to have a hard time getting through this right now. I'd like to thank my mom for always being there for me through these 12 years of school. Not like she had a choice, but she supported me through my rough freshman year and supported the choice of me coming to MG21. I know that's a very important part because not every kid gets to decide that they just want to go to another school. Next, I want to thank all my teachers at MG21. First, I want to thank FB for always making sure everybody has what they need, even when she has a lot going on. Next, I want to thank Jess for always being open to talk, even if we're both just sitting in silence for 10 minutes before I finally decide to say something. She's the type of person who you can express any type of emotions or feelings to, and she'll just understand, without judgment or without feeling surprised. I appreciate everything that she has done for me and continues to do, and I will forever. I also would like to thank Ian for always seeing the bright side of a situation. He taught me that even though I don't talk most of the time, that when I do talk, it makes what I say more important. Lastly, I would like to really thank Alyssa. Even though she wasn't able to be with me my last year, she helped me so much my first 2 years at MG21. Words couldn't even explain. I don't know if it was all the super cool science classes she taught or the constant support on all of my interesting sophomore PBL projects and the need to procrastinate on every single one of them, but whatever support she gave me, I never really felt that at any other school. I'm extremely grateful for all the things that she taught me. These are the types of teachers you can only get once in a lifetime. People that genuinely care about your well-being rather than the work that you do. I'm never going to forget the people or experiences at MG21. Thank you.
Good evening. My name is William Costello, and I am a graduating member of MG21's class of 2020. I like gaming, drawing, and indie rock. Before I start, I'd like to thank my parents for giving much more than I can say, my brother, Jacob, for always challenging me, and my advisor, Ian, for being there in my times of need. In the spring of 2013, I was diagnosed with Asperger's syndrome. I wouldn't say necessarily that this was a bad thing, though. It helped me understand so many things about myself. It explained why I felt so alone throughout my earlier life. I felt isolated, like an alien visiting from another world, not completely understanding why things were the way they were. It shaped me into what I am today. I felt relieved, knowing that it was okay that I could be different. That's why finding MG21 was such an amazing thing for me. When I started here, it was like becoming part of a completely new world. One where I could decompress and choose how I wanted to learn. Like a prisoner emerging from Plato's cave, I could suddenly understand so much more of my world and how much better things could be. It was a difficult transition from traditional industrial learning to this self-guided personal learning. Gone were the good days of cramming and distress, and along came a new era in my life, one of freedom and hope. I'm truly grateful that I found and was able to experience MG21 for its new style of learning. I felt like I had a voice in this place. I was a part of its community. At the end of the last term, I was told that I had all of the credits needed to pass, except for math, which was short 0.16. So any extra work that I completed then sort of felt unnecessary. On another note, the lockdown in effect created this enormous disconnect between my advisors, my friends, and me. So it put school out of my mind. I was lacking motivation. There's a severe absence of community to support me and for me to support it. It's been a strange 79 days, and yes, I've been keeping track. No matter how discouraging, though, I still know that I can reach out and ask for support. I don't feel alone anymore. I've learned so much about gratitude, and I'm grateful to have been a part of MG21. One of the things I'm taking away from here is that it's good to do things different, and that it might even be better to do it that way. Following graduation, I plan to go to Madison Technical College for a year and take a course in graphic design. I don't know what I'm going to do afterwards, and that's okay. Until I take step 1, I can't be sure what step 2 will be. It's hard for me to think about the distant future. Everything is just so unpredictable. I'm afraid of what the future holds for me. I have no idea where my path will lead or what my purpose on this planet is, but that's alright. There is no bravery without fear. And I need to be brave.
Hello, I'm Harrison Farnam. I'm part of the graduating class of 2020 at MG21. I'm sure this has been the same way for all of you, but this transition to social distance learning, school from home has been quite hard for me because the one thing I hated most and the one thing I really liked about MG21 is that there was no homework. I was able to get all my work done at school, and that's the way I liked it. And now we had to do everything from home, so it's been rough. It's noteworthy to mention that in my final days as a high schooler, I've been reading All Quiet on the Western Front. This is noteworthy to mention because it was one of the first books that got me interested in history. It was given to me by my 7th grade teacher, and it really sparked my interest in history. I think it has very much influenced who I am and shaped my politics. I think my time at MG21 has definitely changed me for the better. It has revitalized my zeal for the pursuit of knowledge and my love of learning. I think the experience that has had the biggest impact on me since my time coming here has been the chance to do project-based learning. It has significantly shaped the way I think about how education should be done. For me personally, being able to study and do things I enjoy instead of doing a curriculum really helped me get through these last 2 years. When I came to MG21, one of the biggest challenges I faced was that I was and still am very socially awkward. I have trouble talking to new people, but throughout my 2 years here, I think I've become a lot better at talking to new people, if not great at it. I also think I better understand the path I want to take after high school. I would like to go to MATC and hopefully in the long term work in a field that allows me to work closely with history. My huge takeaway from MG21 will be all the friends I made, not just with the students but with the teachers here. My message to underclassmen is that your graduating year cannot possibly be worse than 2020. I would like to thank the teachers, all my friends, everybody, my parents, everybody who helped me get through my years at high school.
Gone to MG21 for all 4 years of high school. I have a lot of different hobbies, but a few of them are tattooing, body modification, longboarding, art, and video games. Something that's important to me are my friends, who are my main support system. Because of this, I really value loyalty and compassion, as well as just being there for people in general. I've definitely grown a lot since coming to school. I've had a lot of trouble with my living situation, going from living in a house with no water, lights, heat, or plumbing, bouncing between friends, a youth shelter, and renting an apartment with my coworkers, That hasn't stopped me from holding down a full-time job since I was 14, providing for myself, and coming to school every day. This has helped me be a part of the community by putting me in situations with a lot of different types of people and learning how to interact with the community as a whole. It has helped me clarify what I want to do in life and where my path will take me. I've pretty much survived on the kindness of others, and I'd love to pay back the community someday through my choice of career. I am able to navigate the world around me by being able to understand what I need to do to function in society on my own and how to live as an adult. My plan for this future include attending MATC's Criminal Justice Program and Law Enforcement Academy, and hopefully pursuing a career as a police officer after that. Some advice for upperclassmen would definitely be widen your friend group. Don't be afraid to ask people for help and not leave everything to the last second. I'd like to thank the staff as a whole for basically raising me and going beyond what teachers have to do to make sure I had food to eat and clothes on my back. And to Michelle and Jay Walker for opening up their home to me and providing a wonderful experience there, and all my friends for putting up with me throughout the years.
My name is Sarah, and I'm going to begin with a few fun facts about who I am. Telling stories. It's something I've loved to do since the moment I could form coherent sentences. I sit down with my mom for hours upon hours and just tell her stories off the top of my head, where she would have to decide what the character did next. Then I learned how to write. There was no stopping me from there. I would write for hours every day, creating worlds I could immerse myself in and just have fun. Another activity I've always practiced is drawing. I started out as doodles of eyes in class with a single dull pencil and transformed into realistic drawings of faces with hundreds and hundreds of colored pencils that I now spend days on. I would have to say my third favorite activity is singing. Accepted into my church's choir as the youngest person ever, I sang for nearly every waking moment of every day. And as you can see, I have learned to tone that down just a little bit. But for as great as my life is and was, I've also faced many hardships. Just 2 or 3 years ago, I was severely depressed and anxious to the point of complete isolation. I couldn't even concentrate or even think about schoolwork, as every single day was an agonizing battle just to survive. My dad had moved away, my mom had developed stage 3 breast cancer, my childhood dog had died, and to top it all off, I had lost all my friends. I felt truly hopeless. What changed my life was going to Crossroads Day Treatment, a mental health facility for teens, and the fact that MG21 allowed me the flexibility and foundation I needed to go there every day during school. I'll admit, the first and second time at Crossroads were beyond rough. I wasn't used to being pushed so hard to do anything, and me being as stubborn as I am, I consciously refused to get better. It was only when I was asked to leave Crossroads due to the severity of my depression that I truly saw that there was consequences to my actions. Something clicked, so I devoted myself to getting better even without therapy. I researched mental health techniques. I fought to catch up on a year's worth of missing schoolwork. I laid out lists of things that needed to be done each day. I journaled. I opened up to my family. And the list just goes on and on. I've also grown a lot socially at MG21. When I first began school here, I was in a phase of my life where I felt very insecure and it was difficult for me to go out of my comfort zone to make friends. I wouldn't have dreamed I'd be where I am now. When school was still open, I was going to lunch with classmates. I was participating in class, making friends, and even got myself a wonderful boyfriend. Now I'm still hanging out with people, although not as many people, and I'm beginning to advocate for myself by applying to colleges and setting up my own appointments. Emotionally, I've also grown. I've become a lot more confident and happy. I've grown as a member of this community by actually trying to make a difference in my peers' life. This means hanging out, talking, and just being there for them. The main thing I'll take away from MG21 is that I can be successful, even when I'm in a low space. And now, I even want to be a social worker. Of course, I'm going to go to MATC, then UW Whitewater, in preparation for this. Finally, as I say goodbye to MG21 and people in it, my only advice to underclassmen is that you get out of it what you put in. As in, the harder you work, the more you can learn, as MG21 is very self-driven. Lastly, I would like to say a big thank you to my teachers, family, and friends for supporting and never giving up on me throughout these tough years. I can truly say I've had a great support system from my high school experience. I'm Sarah. If I had to end with just one quote, it would be, "The past is our definition. We may strive with good reason to escape it, or to escape what is bad in it. We will escape it only by adding something better to it." Wendell Berry.
Hi, my name's Dante Murray, and I've been waiting to give this speech ever since I started at MG21 and heard senior speeches were a thing. I was always very interested in sharing my story and journey through MG21 and, well, the rest of my life. From a very young age, I loved to play video games. I would sit in front of my TV with my dad on our PS2, and we would play games we got from Blockbuster together. After a while, I started to play games by myself, and once I did, I knew what I wanted to do with my life. Most kids wanted to be cops or firefighters or astronauts, but I wanted to be a video game developer. I look back as far as middle school, and I was saying the same thing I am now about my dreams. I've always wanted to give the experience of joy and entertainment that helped me through my hard times to others, and hope they love them as much as I do. Before I came to MG21, I was stuck. I wanted to follow my dream, but I wasn't even online with graduating high school. Then I learned about MG21, and once I started going, it changed my life. My normal routine became a routine of not knowing what the next day would bring, and I loved it. I'm not the best student. I'm almost never get my work done in a timely manner, and I usually wait till the last minute to work on anything, like right now, as I'm creating this speech an hour before it's due. I'm not perfect, but I'm working on it. My time management skills and everything else you need to succeed in life. It would be really nice if I had a little Denise that would sit on my shoulder and it would follow me around and hit me every time I got off track. I've experienced so many great things during my time at MG21 and met so many amazing people that I will never forget. I want to give a giant thanks to all the teachers, even Mark's, and a thank you to all the people that helped me get to the point I am at. I can't wait to see where my path brings me next, and I'm glad MG21 was a part of it. Thank you.
My name is Abbie Pochel. I've been waiting for this moment for so long. I imagined myself standing up here about to graduate, about to start a new chapter of my life. I didn't imagine that this would take place during a pandemic or that my senior year would be so crazy. For me, the values that are important are hard work, loyalty, love, and empathy. I'm a very creative person. One of my favorite hobbies is art. I love painting, photography, making mosaics. Over my time at MG21, I painted an elaborate colorful mandala on the wall of the art room and created many of the mosaics, including the bench in the front lobby. I spend as much time as I can in the outdoors and nature, and many of my photos are of flowers and natural subjects. I would also consider myself a very hard-working, responsible person. I've held a job at McDonald's in Cottage Grove for 5 years since 8th grade, and this past year I was able to take a manager training course and become a manager there. A pivotal experience that shaped my life was the loss of my father when I was 9, which has made me a resilient and independent person. It also had taught me to always let your people know that you love them. MG21 has had such an impact on my education. I'm definitely going to remember all of the wonderful things I have learned there. Having this type of education has allowed me to think outside of the box in tough or difficult situations or tasks. If I'm stuck on something, I start researching it and I find out the solution. That's the type of education that this has taught me. I feel like I can mostly navigate myself through this world around me, although there's still a lot of unknown areas I'm still striving to learn. What I hope to learn next is how to live life outside of high school. This has always been really important to me. I feel like I have personally grown as a member of the community. I can communicate with people in a more authentic way. I have grown by talking to more people and having more of a voice than I have had before. I have become more of an advocate for myself as well. I'm thriving. I'm mostly happy, but I still have my days of depression and anxiety, but it's getting better little by little. I'm like a flower blossoming into life. I have a better understanding of myself better now better than ever. I am an artist. I never knew I had so many talents until I had the opportunity to explore them at MG21. I love who I am, and I am who I am, and no one will ever change that. I have been beautifying the community with my art and my positive energy. I'm always uplifting, and if anyone needs anything, I'll always be there, even if we're friends or not. One thing the MG21 staff has always taught us is I can always strive for bigger and better goals no matter where, when, or why. They also taught us that we can always achieve our dreams and goals and to shoot as high as far as we want. I'm going to take away much love and a different way of learning that helps me navigate through life. I'm going to MATC next year for a small business entrepreneurship program, and hopefully I'll be able to own a small business one day. I also plan to travel and see new art all over the place and have new experiences with new people. I want to let my life take its course and just go with the flow. I want to experience some new art and new connections. I want to do some crazy fun stuff depending on where I go. I want to go ziplining, cliff jumping, hiking, snorkeling, sunsitting, hammocking, stargazing. I just want to be one with the earth. And I know my dad would be proud of the person I've become. I also would like to take a minute to thank a couple people. I'd really like to thank my mom for being one of my biggest supporters. She's always taught me to be resilient, independent, caring, and a powerful woman. She also taught me to always be extremely empathetic. I also would like the time to thank all of my friends and family who have been there for me through this journey. I know it wasn't easy, but without you guys, I wouldn't have been able to do it. And if I would not be where I am today if I had not had this much love and support on my side.
I transferred to MG21 summer going into my sophomore year. It was probably one of the best decisions that I made throughout my 18 years of life. After speaking up for my education, I feel like I really found my voice and spoke out for what I needed. I feel like MG21 has helped me grow my ability to express myself, my beliefs, and have a real drive behind everything I say. Hi, I'm Cierra Riederer, and I honestly can't wait for what life has for me after MG21. So a little about me is that I have an 8-year-old rabbit named Tab and a 4-year-old dog named Lola. But most importantly, I have a 7-month-old son named Neil. He has brought me nothing but joy and exhaustion, but I wouldn't change it for the world. In my free time, I enjoy listening to music, going on long car rides, being with animals, and really anything that can put a smile on my face. Because my biggest value in life is happiness. If you're not happy with yourself, what are you doing? You're just watching your life go by, and all of a sudden 5-10 years go by and you can't really say much about your life. Over the past 3 years at MG21, I've grown so much. Part of it was probably because I had a baby and I was forced to grow up a little faster than I should have, but I wouldn't change it for the world. Words really can't convey how much I have grown over the years. To truly understand and see my growth, you have had to follow me on my journey. What I'm going to take away from MG21 is that family is everything. If you don't have family, it's hard to focus on your education, and it's hard to get through any emotions you're going through without family. This summer, I plan to grow my business, then I plan to further my education. My first year, I plan to study to become a massage therapist. After, I will go on for the next 4 years to study to become a chiropractor. I want to thank my teachers for coming along my journey of life and helping me become the person I am today. I wouldn't be the person I am without them. I also want to thank my coaches for pushing me because they believed in me and knew I could do more when I didn't think I could. I want to thank my friends for being there for me emotionally when I felt like I had nowhere to go. I also want to thank my brothers for making me stronger and have a thicker skin. My parents for supporting me through everything I go through. And my partner Mitchell for being by my side and believing me when I didn't believe in myself. My advice for underclassmen is that life is going to suck sometimes, and that's just life, but try to make the best out of bad situations because nothing's going to last forever.
You gotta have to live your life to the fullest and remember that you just gotta live your extra life.
Hi, I'm Matt Schlaefer. Here's a little bit about me. My biggest values are creativity, productivity, selflessness, and empathy for others. I have numerous interests, but music is my main interest. I love performing, composing, and producing music. Well, really anything to do with music. I came to MG21 kind of late. I had attended another program and the main high school for much of my high school career. Moving back to the public school system from Common Threads has really shaped me as a young adult. Before I started at MG21, it seemed as if I gained a good understanding for my own social emotional intelligence. However, when I transitioned to the charter school world, I found there was so much more potential for internal growth. Before coming to MG21, I felt like I didn't fit in and lacked a sense of community. At MG21, I found out I didn't need a specific friend group to call mine. Instead, I found the entire school was my community, where I could get along with everyone and seek to understand them. I definitely feel like I understand myself more because of MG21. At the beginning of the year, I started to see myself as an untrustworthy person. However, recently, I've been able to understand and trust myself again, and not be affected by the judgment of others. I have met my own expectations, growing in my ability to meet my moral obligation as a member of the MG21 community. Even with a few minor setbacks, MG21 had the resources and time to show me there is no singular way to get from point A to point B, but there's multiple routes. And MG21 allowed me to take my own path. I will forever be thankful for the bonds I created with myself and the MG21 community. My advice to underclassmen is this. Just before schools shut down and social distancing learning began, we had a town hall meeting focused on the path we wanted for our school in the months and years ahead. Near the end of the meeting, I spoke about how much of a family our school is and how much I appreciate everyone in our school, even students whom I didn't talk to every day. This is what matters at the end of the day. This is MG21. My immediate goals after high school are to successfully move into my apartment, get a job, and attend MATC, well, part-time, in the fall. I've been writing few new songs, and when COVID regulations loosen up, I want to create new music with my band, including a set list I can play at local venues. Most of what I want is to enjoy life, be peaceful and happy. I would like to thank Ian Lowe for being a great advisor and mentor, Jean, Stacy, Paul, Rebecca, Michelle, and Jess for their support. I would like to thank my friends, my girlfriend, and most of all my parents for always believing in me and encouraging me never to give up. Congratulations, class of 2020. Congratulations.
Hello, I am Simon Schlosser. I consider myself a unique, interesting, and an overall positive person. But I would say school shutting down during the last trimester of classes of my senior year leaves something to be desired. I am someone who values creativity, open-mindedness, and independence. In order to feel like I am being true to myself, I need to express myself through my clothing, sense of style, and creativity. Over my high school career, I have pursued many outlets for creativity. I've been part of drama club, participated in plays, forensics, Dungeons and Dragons, and played in the band. Outside of school, I took acting classes, dancing classes, writing classes, and vocal lessons. These experiences have allowed me to develop my confidence and expand my view of the world. I've been at MG21 since my sophomore year, and I would say that my academic strengths come from my creativity. Over the years, my writing has become more clear and focused. When I started at MG21, my obstacle was completing my writing pieces and schoolwork. I had a lot of great ideas, but I often had trouble finishing them. This year, I am proud to announce that I have finished a 39-page musical that I worked on all year. At the beginning of high school, I had a very little understanding of what I wanted from school. Now, I have a better understanding and focus on my future. My biggest takeaway from being a student at MG21 is being able to understand my path forward as a writer and being able to understand myself better. The experience that had biggest impact on me was when I truly began moving in the direction of writing through taking classes such as playwriting, voices, and my PBL writing projects. I expanded my repertoire of writing with essays and even poetry. Next, I wish to learn about the process of making a role-playing game and continue writing, always writing. Socially, I have expanded out of my comfort zones. At the start of high school, I had only a few friends and mostly kept to myself. That attitude stemmed from my fears and insecurities and a need to protect myself. Now, at the end of my high school life, I have so many friends. I've grown less afraid and become more open. I feel that I have grown and can now be a little more direct and honest. I have been more open to taking risks. I even volunteered with the Middle Campus Students D&D Club after school, which was definitely out of my comfort zone. A group of hyper middle schoolers is a lot to handle. I feel that over my time at MG21, I've added my positive attitude and energy and my open acceptance of others to our community. At the start of my high school life, I didn't know what I wanted, but now I better understand what I want to be and where I hope to go. MG21 reignited my passion for writing and my ability to be my authentic self. After high school graduation, I plan to attend Cornell College in Iowa for 4 years. I plan on pursuing my dreams of majoring in creative writing and minoring in theater. I am not sure what this will look like next year, given our current situation. I genuinely hope that the pandemic can push us in a more positive and compassionate direction. I would hope to make my living as a writer in a world that is kind. I want to thank my mother, my father, my friends, my teachers, and my directors, who all helped me become exactly who I am today.
Hello, my name is Makenzie Tracy, and I'm excited to be graduating from MG21. I'm a music lover, and I've taught myself how to play the ukulele. I am able to express myself with the music I listen to. I went to Monona Grove High School for my freshman and sophomore year. During my 2 years at Monona Grove, I struggled and felt like no one wanted to help me. I tried my best, but I kept feeling unmotivated and lost my path. I heard about MG21 through a friend that was a current student there. At first, I wasn't sure that MG21 would be the best fit for me. My mind was closed until I went to an open house. After touring MG21, I felt a little bit better and my mind was more open. I made the decision to go there during my junior year. For a while, I was very shy and only talked to the few people I knew. Even though I didn't talk to many people, I still felt welcomed. I joined Circle Keepers later on my MG21 career. Being a Circle Keeper means that you are learning and becoming a leader. We all gather up and discuss certain issues and topics that's going on in our school and life. Being a Circle Keeper helped me open up and helped me feel comfortable expressing my feelings with others. Some of the good memories I had made here will stick with me throughout my life. One of my favorite times here is a South Dakota trip. A group of students and I went to South Dakota to Pine Ridge to help the people living on the reservation. I was glad I was talked into going on this trip. It made me open my eyes about the world we're living in. I enjoy talking to the people on the reservation and hearing their stories. I want to shout out the people who talked me into going on the South Dakota trip. After my high school career, I plan on attending MATC in the fall through the fashion program. I aspire to be a fashion stylist, hopefully one day. I want to thank the people who helped me on my path. FB for caring and being patient with me. Ian, Jean, and Michelle for understanding and for accepting who I am as a person. Jess for letting me talk out my problems when I needed to talk to someone. Thank you to the other staff members for showing that you care for me and for the school. Thank you to my mom for not giving up on me even though I can be a pain. I also want to thank my friends who have supported me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, students, for those amazing heartfelt words. And now I'd like to introduce Jessie Frayne and hallmarks, who will be sharing some memories with all of you.
Hi, yeah, thank you, Rebecca. And thank you, graduates. Wow, I don't know how to follow those speeches. One thing though, I don't know where Paul is. So if someone wouldn't, like Ian, could you text him? I can't. I mean, I'm fine, like.
Oh, hey, Jess.
Oh.
Oh, how you doing?
Hey, man.
Hey, good to see you.
Hey, how's it going?
I hear we have a live gig tonight.
Yeah, no, we
Yeah.
do. I didn't know if you were coming.
Yeah, I hear we only got a short set though. Like, song or two. I hear the director really wants to keep it
Okay.
at a minimum.
Okay.
We should probably introduce ourselves.
Yeah. Do you wanna-
Yeah, I suppose we are the Wet Wipes, coming to you live. So if you don't mind, we're gonna play a little spoken piece for you tonight.
Yeah, this piece is called The Class of Quarantine. It's from our live album, 6 Feet Apart.
Take it away. Yeah, go for it. Yeah, take it away.
The class of 2020, there's so much we could say. They've battled through the COVID just to reach this special day.
Pioneers through this pandemic. We can all learn from this tough crew. So we hope you listen carefully as we share their strategies with you.
How does one survive a quarantine? Here are 11 important skills. You're welcome in advance, and we apologize for the frills.
Survival skill number 1 from Sarah and her giant heart. Set out to be a social worker. I don't know why. Spread love when the world falls apart.
Survival skill number 2 comes from Kendra, our most frugal friend. Stock up on the ramen noodles, breakfast, lunch, and dinner till the end.
Survival skill number 3. Just look at Dante's mane. Embrace the lack of barbers. The world needs another Kurt Cobain.
That's enough of that. All right, that brings us to survival skill number 4. Socialize with your pets every day. Cierra has done this all along. Maybe even got a little carried away.
Survival skill number 5. Be like William, the technology master. Staff's relied on his guidance so long. Ian, I'm surprised this Zoom ceremony isn't a total disaster.
Maybe it is, I don't know.
I don't know.
Survival skill number 6. Like Abbie, prioritize self-care. There's always time for art and yoga. I mean, that girl works like 90 hours a week, I swear.
Number 7 is to learn from history, as it often repeats itself.
It does.
Or just lean on Harrison, who's forever collecting artifacts on his shelf.
Survival skill number 8 is to rock the Simon Schlosser attitude. Confidence, style, charisma. Have you ever met a happier dude?
I really haven't.
No.
I don't know one. Yeah. Sierra's unfazed by the pandemic with survival skill number 9. Grow up fast, be your own boss. Hell, start a family, why waste time?
Number 10 is don't let isolation cause you to lose your flair. Makenzie shows us this crucial skill with bi-weekly changes to the color of her hair.
Beautiful, it's beautiful. The final skills from our friend Matt. Use music when the world is gray. A man we could have really used here. It's slightly better when he plays.
So there you have it, listeners, the 11 survival skills. We'll miss this class with all our hearts. And with
that,
that's my line. And with that, dude, we've practiced this like 20 times.
Oh, I'm sorry. We'll finish strong.
And with
that,
all right.
And with that, we'll hand the mic off to Phil.
Hard to follow that up. Thank you, Paul and Jess. And now I'd like to introduce Phil McDade again, who will be awarding the Optimist Scholarship Award on behalf of the East Madison Monona Optimist Club.
Thank you, Rebecca. Over the past few years, we have truly appreciated the support from the East Monona Optimist Club for our students. This year's Optimist Scholarship Award goes to a young man who truly embodies the Optimist Creed. He is one of the most positive, optimistic people we know. He brightens everyone's day with his friendly demeanor, positive outlook, and smile. He is a terrific student, played in the band at Monona Grove High School, acted in the high school plays, participated in forensics, volunteers at our middle campus leading an after-school club, and is a talented writer. This fall, he plans to attend, and this is a small editorial comment on my half, a wonderful liberal arts campus at Mount Vernon, Iowa, called Cornell College. He is just an all-around good human being. We are very pleased to award this year's Optimist Scholarship Award to Simon Schlosser.
Congratulations, Simon. And now to, in years past, this year we have a new scholarship, I should say. The Monona Grove Businessmen's Association Scholarship Award. And to present this award, Steve Halverson, who is a member of the MG21 Governance Board.
Thank you so much. It is an honor and a privilege to present a scholarship to a deserving student of this year's class. The scholarship is funded by the Monona Grove Businessmen's Association, and that is a group that has supported the Monona community for over 60 years. It's my pleasure to present the scholarship to Dante Murray. Dante has been a valuable member of the MG21 community for the past 3 years. He's brought creativity, compassion, a sense of humor. He's a storyteller, a connector, a gamer. Congratulations. I wish you the best.
Congratulations, Dante. Thank you so much, Steve and Phil. And now we will have a video review of MG21 graduates from start to finish.
Hello, my name is Michelle Bartman, and I am one of the teachers here at MG21. So each year, our seniors at MG21 embark on a 2.5-day, 20-something mile hike on the Ice Age Trail. The hike serves as a rite of passage for the seniors. It's kind of a final challenge and a source of many memories. Although we weren't able to go on the senior hike this year, the staff of MG21 had some ideas about what the hike may have looked like. Please enjoy.
That was amazing. Thank you, Michelle. And now to present our diplomas, we have teachers and MG21 staff, Jean Delcourt and Stacy Levin.
Hi, all you MG21 graduates from the class of 2020. We are here today helping you celebrate a milestone in your lives, the marker that tells American society or the world at large that you are entering the world of adulthood. We want to support you in whatever you do, whether it be going on to college, going on to getting your own place, getting a job, buying your own car, starting your own adult life. Just know that each of those experiences that you choose will be compiled into what will make you a wise human being. Everything we experience in our lives helps us to be who we are. And so keep your eyes open and step into that role with fierceness and zeal, and know that we're proud of you, that you'll always be part of the MG21 family, that we love you, and that as we continue on in the school, we'll always remember you. So we'll now start by calling you all off and congratulating you.
Okay, so the first diploma
goes to Tierra Jade Bird.
Next, William Emerson Costello.
Harrison Herbert William Farnam.
And Kendra Lee Karen Gillingham.
Sarah Elizabeth Hubler.
Dante Michael Larry Murray.
Abigail Elizabeth Pochel.
Cierra Marie Riederer.
Matthew Robert Schlaefer.
And Simon Peter Schlosser.
Makenzie Tracy. Congratulations, class of 2020. We're going to really miss you. We send you big virtual hugs. And we wish you well. Thank you for everything.
Before I begin my closing remarks, I'd like to thank a few people without whom this graduation would not be possible. Can everyone hear me? I'm unmuted, yes? Okay, just double checking. Thank you to Stacy Levin for all her tireless work creating grad signs, videos, organizing our senior gifts, and coordinating tonight's entire event. Thank you to Will Nemo for his tech expertise and patience in creating tonight's first ever MG21 virtual graduation. We could not have done this without the two of you. Finally, thank you to the entire MG21 staff for their compassionate and dedicated work over this entire year, and especially these past 2 months. Thank you to administrators John Rouse and Melissa Hahn for their guidance, support, and advice. And thank you to the MG21 Governance Board for helping us navigate this challenging year. And now I'd like to introduce my co-speaker who will help me close out tonight's graduation and share some final thoughts with our graduates, former MG21 teacher, Alyssa Hartson.
Two roads diverged in a yellow wood, and sorry I could not travel both. And be one traveler, long I stood, and looked down one as far as I could, to where it bent in the undergrowth. This poem is describing this traveler's choice, and that choice will affect their life in ways they don't understand yet. And we all face decisions in our lives that instigate change or represent a milestone. We all experience them. Some, like this traveler, we volunteer for, and some we don't. Others are hard, yet some are easy. Some are filled with happiness, while others are riddled with sadness. But it is not the milestone that defines who we are as humans, but how we deal with those milestones when they become boulders on our path. When I look at this group of human beings, I see courage, I see fire, I see hope. We've always said, walk your path no matter what it looks like, as long as it is right for you. But you never walk this path alone. This year, more than ever, it is important to remember this.
As we're gathered here tonight, I think about what each one of you has brought to my life and our school community. I think about how we are all forever changed by our connection to one another and the journey that we have shared together. I've had the privilege of walking next to these students, some of them for 4 years while they've walked their paths. I've seen the obstacles, seen the wavering, the hardship, but those aren't the things that come to mind. What comes to mind instead is resilience. The class of 2020 is the most resilient group of people I have ever met. You astound me with your bravery and willingness to keep moving forward no matter what the challenge. These are uncertain, sometimes frightening, and always changing times. But you all meet these types of situations head on with compassion, humor, a little sarcasm, and determination. You are stubborn, you are empathetic, you are hilarious, you are fierce, and you are beautiful. You inspire me and give me hope for the future. Although we are your teachers, it's actually you who have taught us. and there are some lessons that we've learned from you, our beloved graduates, that we would like to share. Sorry, I knew I would get choked up. Unrelenting optimism is a rock that others can lean on. The key to life is to spread positive energy and happiness whenever possible. Number 2, hard work, unwavering perseverance, sassiness, a passion for social justice, and some strongly worded tattoos are a powerful combination, so look out, world. Number 3, creating beautiful art, mosaics, and photographs can truly change the energy of our planet. Number 4, having empathy for other people helps us understand ourselves and also helps us understand how we fit into the world. Number 5, always watch out for the quiet ones. Quiet leadership, quiet strength, thoughtfulness, compassion make for a dedicated, loyal friend that can always be counted on. Number 6, music has the power to lift up others, bring joy, solace, inspiration, and hope.
Number 7, some of us have to grow up a little bit faster than we would like, but we are up for the challenge and embrace it with our whole hearts. Number 8, learning from history can teach us how to live in the present and fight for social change and justice in the future. Number 9, skateboarding is an outside man's game. Don't try the half pipe unless you have a mattress at the bottom. Number 10, intelligence and kindness are best done together. And number 11, you have the power to find your voice. Let the world hear it and be a force to be reckoned with. And I'd like to leave you with this parting quote. 2 roads diverged in a wood, and I took the one less traveled by, and that has made all the difference. Robert Frost.
Graduates, as you head out today on your road, remember, love is more powerful than fear. Live out of love because love can change the world. Don't be afraid to act on your beliefs and your convictions. Seek knowledge always and be willing to take risks to do the right thing. The journey doesn't end today. It's just the beginning. Please join me in congratulating the MG21 class of 2020. Now we can all be unmuted. Hooray!
Yay!
Congratulations! Woohoo! Woohoo!
You did it, guys.